It is 102.7 WMOM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. This morning, we're talking West Shore Bank Rhythm and Dunes, the concert series, not only this Saturday, but also next Saturday, too. And on with us, the president of West Shore Bank, Ray Biggs. Ray, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning to you, Chris. Thanks for having me on the morning show.
Absolutely. It is an honor to be able to chat with you this morning, especially, and I'm hoping that you've gotten to a point this week that most details are planned. You're kind of soaring into the last few days prior to the concert and can relax. Is that an expectation this week, or
See, this is when all the hard work starts. All the coordination, but there's a lot of planning. This is our 13th year. We've got a really experienced crew. We get new volunteers that we need to help them understand how it all works and how it comes together. But our team's excited about it. Weather looks good. That's always a big factor. We've never had a full rain out, so right now Saturday looks good. Knock on wood.
That's a great thing. And over the next few minutes, between chatting about the history of the concerts and a little bit about what to expect this Saturday, we're hoping that we are motivating people to put it on their calendar, nudge their friends and family, maybe head over to the West Shore Bank website or Facebook page or social
We
media.
always love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And make it a plan for Saturday. And a lot of people do, and not only from the local area, but throughout the state and region. And tell me if I'm wrong, but it's 5 to 7,000 people gather for the event, right?
That's the estimate that others have made. Some people that are used to crowd control and have looked at photos and drone footage in the past. It's well attended.
Hmm.
We get a lot of people that will call the bank, will ask about when are you going to have the event, and we've tried to develop a bit of a pattern where it's the last Saturday in July, first Saturday in August. We get a lot of people that plan their vacations and visits to Ludington around. We have family reunions that get planned around, and just get-togethers throughout, all throughout Ludington and the surrounding areas. But we love that. It's great.
Yeah, and this Saturday, no different. You've got Monsters of Yacht, and they're going to be taking the stage at 7 p.m. We'll talk a little bit about their music in just a few minutes. But even before that, you've got Mason County Central that will be performing prior to right there on the grass at Waterfront Park at 6 p.m. And that's what this is all about. Even though the people are dancing and enjoying the concert and hoping that the band will come back and do an encore. That first 30 to 45 minutes of the local bands that play, that's really what it's all about.
No doubt, it's become very popular. Anytime you've got like family members that show up to watch their kids play, and oftentimes it's the jazz band, sometimes it's the full band from those from Mason County Central and from Ludington. Um, it, it's uh, it's a fantastic event, and it may be some of the largest crowds they're ever going to play in front of.
Hmm.
Including the concerts they might have throughout the year during the school year. They're going to play to several thousand people, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah, and what's really great, as the MC, I get a chance to go up on stage, and I ask one of the notes that I love, reading out and talking about is, does anybody has anybody played in band or like a high school, college, elementary, and the hands go up, and that's not just from the parents. There are a lot of people that have been a part of that art over the years. And so I would assume that there's just kind of that greater respect that happens too as the band performs.
Yeah, no doubt. There's, most of us have all had played an instrument at some time or another, even if we just did it for 1 year or multiple years, or never really went on into high school. There's a lot of early learning that is surrounded by music, and it's just even the bands. that will perform. If they wander in, sometimes they're hanging out trying to relax before the show starts at 7, but a lot of them get a big kick out of watching and listening to these talented high school students play. And we get some alumni too, by the way. So it's not all high school students.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of people that show up. But the whole thing is about music, and from beginning to end, and it's well attended and certainly appreciated.
And with Mason County Central being there this Saturday prior to the concert, again at 6 p.m., MCE is involved as well. And that happens when the two bands will go throughout the crowd. They'll be carrying that 5-gallon water jug that we see in our office environment. And there's all kinds of notes taped to it. But the bigger goal is drop some cash in there
Yep.
and help beat last year, which was $20,500
Yeah.
raised between the two nights. That's a lot for the local bands.
It really is. I didn't know how band programs were funded, but really, when you think about it, so much of it is parent supported. The cost of the instrument. A lot of people rent or lease those. Even their music, they have to purchase because it's licensed. Even if it's a song we've all heard of, hundreds of times, it still has to be paid. Someone up the line owns the rights to that music, and so it's a parent supported, and the kids need help sometimes, and they need assistance. And the band directors, if they want to play a broader set of music that needs new instruments or updated instruments, some of these funds have really gone on to help pay for those that can't afford it, but
Mhm.
still want to be active in their high school band programs, jazz band. So the money gets spent in different ways. I hear stories from band directors, in particular, Mr. K, of course, Keith Kaczynski, who
Yeah.
will talk a lot about that from time to time. We have a luncheon after the concert where we present them with the checks of the funds that have been raised. And we didn't start out this way. It didn't start out as a fundraiser. It started out as just having a concert, and then we thought, well, let's try to, this is all about the music. Let's try to raise some money for high school bands. That's it. So that really didn't start in the first couple of years. That took place later.
Mhm. And I wonder, when you did start that, when those conversations were happening, um, because we could always just go to football or basketball or soccer or any other program there. But do you remember those initial conversations when you said, "Yeah, that's where this needs to be directed to"? Music, of course, made sense. But
Yeah.
what were those initial conversations like?
You know, um, when you think about some of the other sports programs, they have an opportunity to showcase what they do quite frequently, whether it's basketball or football, in front of larger crowds. And those sports are more broadly watched. Band only gets really a couple of times per year, other than maybe the halftime show at a football game. They don't get a ton of opportunity to play in front of large crowds. They go
Mm.
compete in some cases, especially the jazz band, and they'll travel around. But there's a lot of times, it's weekends, and it's out of town. So this is a great opportunity to showcase their music. In doing so, people appreciate it, and there's been a good history within the local area, and I'm just going to speak to Mason County in particular. I know this extends into Hart and Manistee as well, and that's just because my kids were involved in band years ago. But there's a great history of a band being very popular here, and a lot of kids go on and do some great things in college and professional music later in their careers. So this all started. Just if you want to know the history,
Yeah.
we had a meeting one time at the Chamber of Commerce offices out at the airport back when it was located out there, and it was about cultural economic development. And Dr. Bill Anderson, who had been president of West Shore Community College for years, pulled a group of people together, and it was, what can we do in Ludington to drive economic development? And one of those was, there's nothing really to do back then, maybe on a Saturday night.
Mm.
And we started to think about, well, what could we do? What could happen? And combined with being at an event at Waterfront at the park, and then say, hey, a lot of communities have music going on in their local communities, and it draws people in, and that's kind of how it got rolling.
Yeah.
And in the first couple of years, we did jazz in big band.
Mhm.
It was very different than what you see today. We've really kind of moved towards more popular music from the 70s, 80s, and but in the first couple of years, the crowd wasn't particularly large, but the music was good.
Mm.
We had a Glenn Miller orchestra band,
Wow. Wow.
and we had a jazz group and blues. So it was different.
Yeah. You probably have so many moments over the last 13 years that really jump out based on the different genres and different groups that you brought in. Some groups were so good that you brought them back, which was good to see that from time to time. But what was there without it being every show, but was there the one show where you had that aha moment that where
Yeah.
where afterwards it was this was great.
So, a funny story. I used to referee swim meets. I was up at a swim meet in Manistee. It was a conference meet, and the lights went out during a swim meet, and the people inside, kind of running the microphones and the timing, turned on music to entertain everybody, and it was a Journey song, and it was "Don't Stop Believing." And
Mhm.
and and what was funny is that all the kids were singing the music, and I thought, we need to have let's do a Journey tribute band. And the next year we did a Journey tribute band, and I realized that a broad group of people are going to recognize that music and have fun with it. And it turns out that was the real time where the weather was great, the crowd showed up, and that was what tipped it. And since then, we haven't looked back, and we've made some really good selections. We get a group that gets together and thinks about what kind of music we should have,
Mm.
and we get people that help us. People send us messages on Facebook and our website and say, "Hey, I was somewhere and I heard this band. You should look into them." And we have used that input from year to year, and we go on YouTube and listen to the music and watch videos of these bands and try to get a sense for how they're going to sound. It's worked out wonderfully.
Well, even just talking with a few of the band members already, they're excited about this. This is one of their shows that you can tell that can't wait till that week happens. So where they're packing up and ready to go and rolling in. And we have Monsters of Yacht coming in this Saturday. Again, 7 o'clock. They'll be on stage. The band, for those that might not know them, from Christopher Cross, the Doobie Brothers, Hall and Oates. You've got Skaggs, the Bee Gees, a little river band. There is going to be some fun here from Toto and more. I hate to put you on the spot, but I am. I'm gonna put
Yeah,
you just for a
go
moment.
ahead.
If there was a song that you would love for the band to play, and maybe this won't happen, and maybe they have their song list already, but from some of those artists, or maybe from one of the artists that it kind of like, yeah, I would love to hear something from Hall and Notes or from Toto.
Yeah, those are the well, Yacht Rock, of course. There's a whole station dedicated to this on Sirius
Yeah.
XM,
Mhm.
and you listen to that from time to time, and I always joke and say Michael McDonald, who of course was with the Doobie Brothers, and then partnered with a number of different people, and was doing vocals and piano playing on so many of these songs that are beyond just the direct groups he was involved in. But Toto, a good band, great live music.
Mhm.
Um, Something from Steely Dan would be awesome. Dewey Brothers is great. It'll be interesting to see how they pull together because people love to dance at this show,
Mhm.
right? And,
Yep.
all the Rhythm and Dune show. So I'm interested to see how yacht rock and dancing goes well together. Who knows? Well, everyone's going to find a way to enjoy the vibe.
Yeah, for sure, and looking forward to it. A couple more questions, if you don't mind, and we'll
Yeah.
wrap up here. And but looking forward to maybe connecting with you next week, as well as we talk about the next band for August 2nd, which is Clay and the Mud, and we can chat about that band and in conversations with them already. They're geeked. They are excited to play the West Shore Bank Rhythm and Dunes concert. And if you're just joining us here on Mom FM and Hot Country Hits, we're talking with Ray Biggs, West Shore Bank president. The Rhythm and Dunes concert series, it's a two-part concert series. It comes up this Saturday, July 26th at 6 p.m. for Mason County Central playing there, and then the band for July 26th, Monsters of Yacht. They'll take the stage at about 7 p.m. And I would assume that there is a moment, and I like to, and I'm going to put you. This is going to be the challenge for you, Ray. Is that when we do connect next week, I want you to explore a few more of these stories because I love
Sure.
hearing about this. When you've been roaming around Waterfront Park, or maybe the week after, or a couple of weeks after, you get a chance to kind of hear the residual from it, the opportunity for people to say, "Oh, I had such a great time. I loved when they did this," or "I'm glad you did that." What is that like?
Very fulfilling, very fulfilling. It's a lot of work and effort that our team here at the bank. I mean, remember this is all volunteer, and most of everybody that's involved in it are all the employees within the bank. Margaret Carney has been managing the. I call her the general manager of the concert
Yeah.
series. She's planning all year, and I know that seeing everybody have fun and seeing a real family event, safe, it's well attended, and it's not too late. It starts at the right time. It
Mhm.
seems to kind of hit right into the slot where it fulfills, a lot of people's mission on a Saturday night. It's good for business. I love hearing businesses and restaurants and bars that say it's their best night of the year. Some of them say it's better than Fourth of July, and part of that has to do with the timing. You
Mhm.
know, you, a lot of people still go out to eat after that, or will go, to the bar at 9:30, 10 o'clock, just as the concert's ending. It's not like it ends at midnight. It ends at a
Mhm.
pretty reasonable hour.
Yeah.
So you like hearing that. And it was always initially it was about economic impact. I mean, that's what it was.
Mhm.
The concept was give people something to do and come into downtown Ludington on a Saturday night, and we definitely have achieved the objective of what was set out years and years ago, and it continues to fulfill that. And then hearing the impact you have on people having a great time on a Saturday night, and our staff, our team works really hard on it, and they got to give up a lot of time. I mean,
Mhm.
this is kind of feel like this is they're using a weekend or two weekends out of the busy summer, our staff, to help do this. So when it goes well, it's extremely rewarding.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you hear it, you see it. The businesses obviously that gratitude must be really rewarding because obviously they're investing in you from the financial side of things from West Shore Bank, but you're investing right back at them through putting on these concerts, and you see when you're leaving the concert, people are starting to make their way down into South James Street or Ludington Avenue, and saying, hey, you know what? Let's go explore. And it's still a nice evening out. And you were right, the weather looks fantastic for this weekend, so we're looking forward to that. It has to be really really rewarding.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
Absolutely. Let's remind the listeners and viewers again, it's a free concert if you've never been to the West Shore Bank Rhythm and Dunes concert. You're invited from all over the region, and we have people that show up from out of state. They're traveling and taking that detour to Ludington, and that's a great thing to see. You see those that are on their boats coming in. It ranges from the stage all the way back to the water, and make sure you have your camping chair or blanket. That's always a plus. What is your message as we wrap up today? Two parts, if you don't mind. Those that have been coming back year after year after year, and those that this may be their first year and they're thinking about it. What's that dual message that you might have?
Certainly, thanks to both. But thank all the. There are so many people when there's a show when the show's ongoing. I usually walk around about midway and start to just talk with people, and a lot of people express their gratitude. And I would say back to them, thank you for attending, thank you for supporting, because that's what makes events like this successful. Is people show up and they enjoy it, they recognize the value that it can bring. It's a great night out on Saturday. It's a lot of fun, and I continue to meet people. I mean, the other day I was at the dentist, and my dental hygienist, she had not gone to one of the shows, so I was like, hey, this is a lot of fun. I mean, I don't want to oversell this, but you should really come out and enjoy a Saturday. It's free. Hang out, just walk, go out to dinner, and then walk through and just spend 30 minutes, and then come back next year. You'll enjoy it.
Mhm.
So those people that haven't done it before, uh, it's a great opportunity. You'll see and connect with friends and family from all over. Um, uh, and many friends you haven't seen yet, maybe this summer, you'll see them at the concert. So it's a great opportunity to reconnect with people you haven't seen all summer.
Yeah, yeah, a good message there for sure. It is and we'll be reminding throughout the week, the Rhythm and Dunes concert series presented by West Shore Bank at Waterfront Park in downtown Ludington. Again, 6 p.m. Make sure you're there to take in the local bands. MCC this week, LHS on August 2nd. Before Clay and the Mud performs, and we'll chat more about Clay and the Mud next week. But if you're looking and don't make it we'll go to this one rather than that one. Go to both, enjoy it. As you mentioned, you don't have to worry about dinner at all. There's so many food trucks there
Oh
that
yeah,
yeah.
we should cover that next time. But there's going to be a lot of great food trucks local. Gosh, so many. I think we're going to have maybe 7 or 8 of them. So
Yeah.
dessert, the whole 9 yards. You get to eat everything you want to eat.
Absolutely. Well, let's do this. What we'll do below these two Facebook videos on Mom FM and Hot Country Hits and our YouTube channel, we'll tag them. We'll list those food trucks that are going to be there this Saturday, and we'll do the same thing for next week's time to connect with you and make sure people know that. And just looking forward to a phenomenal concert, and it looks like it's going to be one of those. Ray, I'll leave the last message to you. Is there something, and I'm sure there is because there's so many details about this event, but anything that we missed talking about today that's important to you?
Um, no, I think we covered it all really well. Come have fun. It's a great evening, great time out. 2 Saturdays. What I always say, pray for good weather. We've been very fortunate, so the forecast looks really good right now. And say thanks to the volunteers because I'm sure they'll appreciate it. They like getting the positive feedback. We've got folks managing parking lots and they're on garbage duty at the end of the night. And we're helping the bands pack up and putting all the sound music away, all that equipment. So just pass it along and donate to the music programs.
Yep.
Kids need it.
Yep, and you can actually do that prior to, not just at the concert, but if you go to West Shore Bank's website, if your website has an option for those that want to donate in advance, and because sometimes we don't always carry cash, and if you want to do that, there's the opportunity to do
And,
that.
and you can do it through the West Shore Bank mobile app if you're already a customer. There's a way to donate there as well as on our website.
Oh, fantastic. Gives a lot of opportunities to surpass that $20,000 mark. Let's make it happen. And you have consistently. I mean, it's not that we're trying to raise the expectation bar too high, but it's neat to be able to see the community say, "Oh, that was the goal. Okay, let's make it happen."
Yeah.
And we see that throughout the 2 nights. So, thank you, Ray, and
Thank
your
you.
team, and we appreciate West Shore Bank for all that they do. So, thanks again.
You bet. Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. And if you missed any part of this segment, you can watch it right there on the WMOM and Hot Country Hits Facebook pages and our YouTube channel as well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and do that. And then we'll connect with Ray. Hopefully, we can do that next week because another exciting band, Clay and the Mud. And there's a little bit of backstory on that. And we actually had a chance to talk with the band, and we'll have their interview coming up next week as well. So you don't want to miss that. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits